sure I mentioned that. So it shouldn't be above and beyond to think that Ben Beckman's above average because his captain is lacking little in the department. People like to take that as Shanks discredit or Shanks slander, but it's not. You lost the arm, bro. We got to be realistic about the arm. Like, I feel like the arm doesn't mean nothing to nobody. That's why nobody takes anything from it. Besides, only because the abyss mark is something. Now we care about his fucking arm. But when his arm really mattered, when it comes to cutting niggas down, we think he's still untouchable because the arm means nothing in the meaning of the diminishment of strength. That's crazy to me that we think somebody can lose a limb and it means nothing, especially when they have nothing to replace the limb with. It's not even like a devil for like kid or like who's on. So
let me ask this. I think this is a defining question. Two questions, but don't answer them yet. Let me ask both. Do you think that he has surpassed Roger, and if so, when? Did he?
Remember, I think he didn't surpass Roger because I think he surpassed Roger. If not surpassed, he got to Roger's pedestal. The problem with it is that we don't get to see what that looks like at its peak and the utmost because one, they hide what we get to see with the Shanks and Mihawk fight, one, and then two, he's lost an arm, so we no longer get to see him. I'm pretty sure the guy that put the gun that put up to his head, I'm pretty sure Shanks would have cut him down if he had both his hands. Problem is, he didn't, and now that he had one arm, I feel like his crew knows to just be more tight. They're just more on it now. That's how I just feel. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like he's been, especially the credit towards Ben Beckman because it's mentioned for him. It's not like something we don't mention. It's something that it's mentioned. Like because Shanks, whatever, Ben Beckman is more of whatever. That's just what they've said. So I feel like I gotta give it some credit because it's unrealistic even for anime logic to think that losing an arm means nothing. Losing an arm means nothing. You know that's crazy. Like losing an arm didn't mean a thing. So what was the point of the gamble? What was the point of putting up the arm in the first place? What was the point of sacrificing it? What was the point of? I just feel like it takes away from the story if we act like it does nothing. It means nothing. That's just me.
So okay, so I just want to get clarified. Did you say he surpassed Roger?
He either surpassed him or got to the pedestal of him.
Like currently.
Yeah, on the level when he had two hands, because he reached that power pedestal when he had two hands. He lost the arm.
So is he back there now?
See, that's the problem. Losing an arm doesn't hurt your hockey output. It hurts physicalities. That's the thing. Shanks doesn't lose power. He loses skill.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what, like in the Viver cards, it even says for Shanks, he has lost no power. He hasn't lost no power with losing his arm. You could take that as lose no power as a pirate, as far as like individual strength, or power as a pirate as far as like emperor, because he goes on to become a pirate emperor, so he gains more power and influence. But I personally think he doesn't lose power because if Shanks when he had two arms and was using Conqueror's Haki at base on you, compared to Shanks that's having one arm and using Conqueror's Haki at base on you is the same output. Losing the arm doesn't change that. Losing the arm hurts when you can't put two hands on your sword to swing the blade at an overpowering foe. That's where two hands matters.
If anything, it increases it. If anything, it increases it.
You're bugging. How does that work to you, Reed?
Conqueror's Haki?
No, wait. You're saying you're saying losing the arm increases his Conqueror's Haki?
That's what he said.
Okay, if he's saying that, that's actually not a bad argument. I thought you were talking about his physicality. I said, there's no way you're about to tell me that one arm swinging is stronger or as strong as two arms swinging. What the hell?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm not saying. I'm saying going through the adversity and still becoming an emperor one-armed. Yeah.
I can't answer that question because I don't know what the fight between Shanks and Mihawk was like. I don't know how much he used two hands. I don't know how much. I don't know what level the Conqueror's Haki was at that many years back. I don't know if
primary hand too, though, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said he loses a lot of skill. Like people think he didn't lose anything. Like he lost his dominant hand.
It's like Jamie. It's like Jamie all over again.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
He lost his left.
Exactly. The only reason I give it to I'll give it to how many years goes by in Game of Thrones compared to like Shank's timeline, he's losing his arm. Like in the series, Jamie Lannister compared to season 2, Jamie Lannister. What's the time difference of that? Does anybody know
What?
the time
I'm
difference of
different.
Jamie Lannister from season 2 to season 8? How many years is that in between? Because Shanks has 6 years with one arm. So I do believe you could train and get your left arm. You could get it to a point of, hey, it's at least getting the job done that my right arm could get at base. You
It
get what
might
I'm
be a
saying?
year. Yeah, it might be a
Um,
year,
it wasn't
some
that long. It
change.
wasn't
It,
6 years worth.
Yeah.
it wasn't 6 years. It wasn't a year, but it wasn't six
Yeah,
years
that's what I
neither.
said. It said like a year, maybe close to a year or something like that. That's because
Maybe.
No,
remember,
it's way longer. It's way longer than that. Because
because
remember,
Shanks was
Arya's still a
pregnant.
little, yeah, and Arya's still a little kid and all that at the in season 2.
When he got his arm chopped off.
He got his
Yeah,
arm chopped off season 3, so like season 3 to 8. May
It,
I'd
it's
probably
it's
word
say
quite
season
a
three.
bit
two.
of time, but it's
Yeah,
not.
season 3.
It's not 6 years though. It's like maybe 2 or 3 years,
It's
Two.
maybe
That's
at the
what
not.
I'm saying. Like
most.
maybe two, 3, 2 years at best.
Yeah,
So
that's
maybe
what I'm saying.
half the time. Maybe half
Yeah,
the
the
time.
three exactly. And Jamie had got standard swordsmanship at that time. Not comparing him to Shanks, but he has all the Shanks lore in Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the perfect character to actually make this comparison with. So I like that Zaza did that. So yeah, that's W Zaza point. Yes, I think after some time, you give him Shanks 6 years with one arm. He does make up for it adequately. The problem is, I don't have him. It doesn't give him the strength of two hands. You can say it's hockey and priest. I'm completely down for that conversation because I actually think if this thing turns out to be exactly what it is, like it was a mark and you took a gamble on Luffy, if the gamble's paying off, then I'm thinking the hockey's increasing because yes, your ambition and your conviction strengthening. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Every time
Yep.
you read a Luffy bounty poster, you might have got a hockey boom. That's the kind of conversation it becomes for someone like for Shanks.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's kind of where I'm going with that. Now, I personally think he spent those 6 years training just that one arm. If he's doing one arm push-ups, heck, there's a dude that was in the NBA draft this year that's one
Yeah,
arm.
that's true. That's true.
I shoot better with one arm, bro.
There's people in the NFL with one hand.
Oh yeah. He has yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's on the Seahawks, I think.
There's plenty
Mm-hmm.
of one-armed swordsmen in anime. I'm not trying to say you can't be a one-armed swordsman. I'm
I
saying
just
there's nothing going to tell me that your one arm is so strong that it couldn't. If you had another arm, it wouldn't matter. There's
no, I
nothing.
agree.
That's nothing that's going to replace that.
I'm just saying the time to adapt to the disability is great.
Hmm.
It's great enough to be able to make up for the difference. A
Yep.
lot. That's all I'm trying to say. So
That's a
that's why I'm
that's
asking when we're asking like if Shanks has reached the level of Roger. I'm not discrediting the fact that he has one arm now. I'm just saying like he has 6 years. Like
okay. So tell me this. Tell me this, Reed. Tell me this. This is going to tell me everything I need to know. Kaido, two hand, Thunder Bagua, clashing with Shanks. How does that? What does Shanks do in repercussion?
versus Shanks like right now.
Yes.
No, just a shit. They're going in for a clash, like how Whitebeard and Shanks did. But what's it called? You could say, but Whitebeard is old. That's Whitebeard put two hands on his blade, but Whitebeard is old. And when you're
And
old,
sick
Gart has
and
already
dying.
confirmed you lost half your strength. So he needs two hands to match with Whitebeard with one. Whitebeard needs two hands to match what one hand prime Whitebeard could do with one hand.
Right.
Sick
That's
and
what that
dying.
means, right? Yeah, sick and old, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what is Shanks in its Shanks now clashing with Whitebeard? I mean, clashing with Kaido. I'm trying to go to Marine Ford. You trying to stop me? All right, Thunder Bagua. He's in the air. He comes out of the air and he's like, you know what? He's dropping down on him and he turns into his regular human form. Pulls out his club right to Shanks' ship. Shanks like, no, I'm not letting you do my shit like that. Jumps off the ship straight up in the air to clash with him. How do you envision the clash going? You think Shanks matches him evenly, outputted everything one hand?
Possibly.
Mind you, this is prime Kaido, and Roger had two hands on his sword, and he had Haki that breaks the fourth fucking wall. Keep that in mind.
Possibly. I mean,
one hand Shanks is gonna match Kaido.
I'd have to stay consistent. Yeah, possibly.
No, I'm only re-asking you to make sure you stay consistent. It's an interrogation tactic. Are you gonna shake because I keep repeating the question?
No, I mean, I think
I'm glad you're standing firm.
I think there's a lot of stuff in Shanks's bag that we haven't even seen. So, like,
I agree. I think there's levels to the divine departure. Like,
right.
I don't even believe there's a two-handed divine departure. I believe that's possibly a whole nother move.
Maybe. Right. I mean, we saw
Thunder Bobble was level up.
I think Thunder Bobble was. I think he knew he was gonna just one shot. You're good. I think he knew he was gonna be able to one shot Kid. So we saw.
No, I think he was gonna do that with one hand, even if he had two. He would have did that with one hand. I stand on that. So even if Shanks had two hands, he would have one shot a Kid with one hand. He would have went up to him. He would have held his sword. He would have held his sword on his sheath like a swordsman does, and then he would went sing and sliced him one time. That does not change. Yeah, exactly. That situation does not change. I'm not trying to shit on Shanks. That is not what I'm doing. I got Shanks as a top 5 favorite character. We're not going to forget this. You remember that. And he's not 5. I'll say that. He ain't 4 neither, but I'm not going to fucking. You get
where I'm going with that is I think that there's different levels. Like, he used what he used, but that attack probably wasn't even 10%, 20% of, like, if I'm really trying type thing. Yes, that's where I'm at with Shanks. I don't think that might have been 1/4% of the power of what that attack could actually do. I don't think.
Okay, so 25% then.
Yeah, it could be like a quarter.
Because I think it was about 25 to 30% of what he can actually do if we're taking the words of the editing team and everything seriously. When they said Shanks just shows a glimpse of his power, he showed 25%. That's a glimpse. 25 to 30%. That's a glimpse. It's a little sneak peek type shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'd go in the range of 10 to 25%. That's where I would go. High end, max 25%. So
I'm not gonna say 10. If he had two hands, I'd give you 10, but I'm not gonna do that.
That's fair. It's debatable what the range is, but I'm personally just saying 10 to 25. That's what we saw, and I think if he actually locks in and really uses an attack, it's up. Like, that's what I'm saying. I just think with 6 years training one way, I don't understand why you shouldn't be able to overcome your disability. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. I don't think the one arm thing matters anymore.
Yeah,
I don't even think he needed to. You know, it's crazy. I don't even think he needed to train as hard as we think he needed to train. I think that's why I said he's for what he's doing, what he's shown, he was already legitimized at 14, 15 years old with divine departure. Yeah. So I don't think it took all that much. I'm just saying two hands matters, even for someone as prestigious as that. He would love to have two hands. You know what I'm saying? Like watch this, right? Fujitora not having his eyes, it probably works better, but only because Haki's a thing now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Shanks not having an arm, it probably can only work for him because Haki is the thing. If Haki's not a thing, then it can't work for these people.
Yeah.
This could be just me just talking, bro. I'm just sitting. I literally just thought. But like he could, with that attack with Kid, he had like summoned the. I'm trying to remember the moon.
The griffin, the bird.
He didn't summon that. Technically, that was the Haki Visage that.
Right.
What's his name? Saw. Yeah. It's like when you looked at. It's like when they were looking at Kaido, and Kaido was like, "Come at me," but then when he was saying "Come at me," you saw a dragon behind him because it's called a phantasmagoria.
What if he can create another arm with his stronger attacks?
Yeah, my boy Slug. I don't know if you remember my guy Slug. He's been saying that for like 10 years, like 5 years now. Like the amount of time I've known him. His whole thing has been Haki. He has always been preaching Haki Susanoo, but I told him that's been confirmed with. As soon as we found out Haki was a thing and we didn't know what Ashura was, I immediately connected the two. So, and there's actual statements that connect the two things.
Right.
So it's like, I think if Zoro could create a 9 sword style, Shanks could definitely create something. Has he done it yet? No. Will he do it? Probably. You might even see if his sword is a devil fruit weapon, which I don't know if it is, but if it is, and it's like a griffin that matches like Cerberus and all that, who's to say there's not a technique that combines the griffin abilities with the actual host of the sword, like the sword wielder. And now he's like in hybrid form because he fused with the sword. That's what I expect Garland to be on with Typhon. That's kind of what I expect Shamrock to be on. If Shamrock is using his blade, right, the peak ability of the blade should be something where it's incorporated with the wielder. That's just what I believe. So yeah, you know what I mean? I'm with you.
That's where I'm going. I think, in my opinion, something like that drops. We're not talking about Mihawk anymore. We're not talking about Mihawk.
Thank goodness.
I still be talking about Mihawk.
Can we not talk about Shanks either? Like that'd be great too.
Yeah, we know how you feel. But I still be talking about Mihawk because I don't know the pinnacle of what a black blade is even for. We just know what it takes your blade to unsurmountable levels. We don't know what this is.
If he was gifted that blade, I don't
think he was gifted it. I think he made his black blade. Yeah, I think he made his black blade.
Reed was gonna say, no, I think he was gifted.
Because you're not deemed as the strongest swordsman without having that black blade.
I already know.
What's going on, Blue? He's over on Instagram. He said, I joined so late. Work sucks. Sorry,
it'd be like that, Blue. It's all good.
I get it.
You're a real one, Blue, so you know.
You trying to say some other stuff. Come on, bro.
Hey, Zoro bought himself a cursed blade, right, out in Logtown. What if, Mihawk?
He didn't buy a black one though. Chill.
He just bought a cursed blade.
Like, it's crazy. Hey. A lot of people like to ask why did the black blade? Why did Shusui not do what Enma did? Because Shusui is technically the same tier as Enma. And we don't know if when you get a black blade, if it really does send your blade a tier up. It's possible. It is implied, but we don't know if that's actually the case. Because Kozaburo, when he talked about it, even sounded like he didn't know himself neither. Because he doesn't even know if it takes your blade up 1 level, 2 levels, or any level at all. What I would like to say is that if you do have a black blade, if your blade is a great grade blade, and you have a black blade, then I am going to think that your black blade is the best of the great grade blades. Right? Now, I do believe Shusui didn't do anything to Zoro because Zoro outdid the swordsman that wielded Shusui. So why, if watch this right, I don't think Enma would be going crazy on Zoro the way it is if Zoro defeated Oden in an actual fight. It might draw upon it in battle, but I don't think it would. I think the sword is questioning the swordsman because it doesn't know this swordsman. You get me?
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't think Shusui's gonna do that to Zoro because Shusui fought this nigga and saw this nigga was like that. Like, bam, I fuck with you. Like, you like that. Ryuma even said it. This blade will be glad to be wielded by somebody like you. When it comes to Enma, Zoro just picked Enma up. If I'm Enma, nigga, I don't know you. Who you? Oh, she went Suki blood. Like, let me see if that's true. Let me see if you could pass my test. Yeah, I'm gonna do that to you. But that's because that was a blade unknown to him. Even with the cursed blade, Zoro had it. Zoro said, you know what? What's the first thing Zoro did?
Yeah.
Held his hand out. He put himself to a test.
Yeah.
He put a test. After that, the sword didn't really do nothing. It had one moment when it was in when they was fighting 100, but when Zoro slayed 100 bounty hunters. When Zoro did the sword and it cut when Zoro didn't want it to cut, and Zoro said, "Hey," he looked at the sword and said, "Hey, like behave yourself," type shit. You know what I'm saying? You can equivalent that to the same thing he does to Enma. Like, Enma takes the blade from him, takes the hockey from him, and he's like, "Yo, run that shit back, bro." Like, yeah, run that, yo. What are you doing? That's why it's a whole thing. But I think the black blades are very meaningful. Means something to have a black blade. That is a thing. But what if this is one question I wanted to present to you real quick too. I've been having a lot of conversations recently. Do you think that you think Yoru, the black blade, is the most superior supreme grade blade? Yeah. It is called that, right? Now you think it's that because it's a black blade? Now
it became that.
Okay, now let me ask you a question. Do you think was it supreme grade before it was black? That is the question I have. Was it
Yes.
great grade? Was it great grade like Enma and then became black and turned into
Yes.
Supreme, or was it a
Yes.
Supreme grade already and then he said, "Oh shit, I'm a, like if Fuji just decided or Fuji sword turned black 2 arcs later, and it's still a Supreme grade, it's just a black blade. Like, what do you think it is?" And I haven't been able to find an answer to this because I don't know what a black blade, how many tiers it's even doing to a sword. But what is
It,
it? What
it,
does this all
I
do?
think it was already a supreme great sword. I just think he added the
He
black
made
blade
it
to it.
black and sent it to the top
Yeah,
of its tier.
send it to the top of the list because
Okay.
that's a unique sword. Like, come on, like we've seen swords before. That's a very unique blade. Like that's a very unique sword. No,
Yeah,
Blue,
with unique hilts
you
and
can't
everything.
that's not something that can be like, yo, everyone has that. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, yo, Mihawk turned that shit, and it was probably already like he probably got it was like an A-. He made that to A+. So there it is.
Okay.
Blue says it's like that because it's a black blade. It was Emma grade and it became a Supreme blade. That's my headcanon agenda.
Oh yeah, I know Blue's agenda. That's for y'all to hear to see if y'all agree with him. That's why he's getting into it. He knows where I stand with that. I don't. I technically do not know. That's my answer to it. I'm more inclined to believe it does. I'm like Blue. I'm inclined to believe it sends your tier. Like if it's a black blade and it means that much to be black, it should send it to tier up. So technically, Mihawk's blade is supreme grade, but it might be beyond that because we don't know what grade it is. The issue I have with that is that Zoro doesn't have any supreme grade blades. He has all great grade blades, and he has 2 great grades and 1 standard.
Yeah.
And like I've always argued, if Zoro makes the blades black,
Then
the
they all
other
go to
two
Supreme.
they all go to supreme except for the Kitetsu, unless
Yeah.
he makes that one super black. I mean, I don't know the difference. That's what I'm saying. Otherwise, he needs to get rid of that sword. I don't see
Yeah.
it. I don't see unless you give it a. I'm only cool with that sword not getting none if we give it a devil fruit. But nobody is on board with my thought on giving one of Zoro's swords a fruit. So
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've been on that kick for a minute because it's just like he says in the beginning of Egghead,
Egghead.
there's a question that he has for Vegapunk, and we still don't know what that question is. And if we
Yeah.
don't get that addressed before we leave the island and leave Vegapunk or whatever, I will be very upset. Cause and I know people are like that'll be a ball drop for me. And I know Oda will come back and address it eventually, but just like we right here. Uh,
Yeah, I agree with you. My sentiment is a little different. I'm a real sword guy, and seeing that I don't believe that having a devil fruit weapon not doesn't make you a swordsman because then what the fuck is Bleach? The entirety of Bleach. You get what I'm saying? So if you're
very
going
true.
to be in the best swordsmen in Bleach have mastered their crazy abilities. So if Zoro wants to be if Oda really wants Zoro to be the best swordsman in the world, you have to you kind of have to give some you have to you have to start sunning animes. You get what I'm saying now? And like even right now, Kagurabachi, everything that they're doing with swordsmanship in Kagurabachi has been done in One Piece. Every other anime I've watched that's done swordsmanship, every Oda has done everything except for the devil fruit concept with Zoro. Because to me, being the world's strongest swordsman means you've mastered every type of blade. That's me. You must be able to wield if you had to pick up a devil fruit weapon at random because it was the only sword to use, could Zoro manage it? That's the question being asked. That's how I feel about it. And you only get that question asked if he actually gets a devil fruit weapon as a sword. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah.
Blue said when Zoro fights Mihawk, he will have 3 black blades, 1 Supreme blade, and 2 Emma level blades.
He would have to beat Noso Joro. He would have to beat Venus Joro before he fights Mihawk. One. He'd have to take Katetsu from Venus Joro. And because Venus Joro has a supreme graded Katetsu, the first Katetsu.
Yep.
Katetsu the first. And that could be the way he does it, I guess. But otherwise than that, I'm thinking he turns Enma and Wado Ichimonji supreme grade black
Yeah,
blades.
definitely
Ka-
Watto. Definitely Watto. I really agree with
yeah,
that.
Katetsu, it's up in the air. I feel like Katetsu is something where he's going to possibly. I'm gonna ride this train until. So
I mean, it might break
crash
and he
just.
has to just get a new one, bro.
Yeah, but there's a whole nother Katetsu in Wano. That's what I'm saying. There's so, and we might be going back to Wano. Yamato might be coming to Wano. It's a lot going on with the Wano stuff. You know what I mean? And I wanted to ask, do you still see? I wanted to ask you real quick. Do you guys still see Wano? Yamato joining the crew?
I don't. Well, she would have to bring Page One and Ulti with her.
No, she wouldn't. If she's following Oden parallel, she doesn't have to. She could, but she doesn't have to. She could keep the new scabbards in Wano to hold shit down. Those could be the ones that get wiped out by the Blackbeard pirates when they visit.
Oh god. Yeah. I don't like that, but yes, okay. I don't see that happening either. But all right.
I just wanted to ask, y'all see Yamato still joining the crew?
Yeah,
I see her leading the Straw Hat Grand Fleet.
I definitely see Yamato joining. I'm not gonna lie. When you gave your list, I wanted to add a fifth. My fifth person is Bon Clay. I think Bon Clay will be
That's my fifth person too. Fifth person too. Hear my take about it. It's gonna sound crazy and ridiculous, but hear me out. So Oda's very inclined with media. He understands and Toei is as well. They understand the dynamics of media today. What's very big in media today is LGBT. Bon Clay is the biggest representative we have besides Ivankov for LGBT, and he represents that. You have the twisted view of Sanji with it, but you don't have to twist it. Sanji's still trying to be Sanji. You know what I mean? We could literally fix that by allowing Bon Clay to join the crew. Do I want that to happen and be the whole spin on the whole narrative for the whole thing of One Piece? No, but it is looking like Oda's going in that direction because he plays not the direction of putting Bon Clay on the crew, but the direction of just playing with that field, that level of things. Like, even for Netflix, the Marineford animation, like they switched up the dub. Like they're actually saying full on things now. Where it wasn't that. Maybe I was watching the 4K version. I don't know, but the version that I see on Netflix now, they're using the terms that you're supposed to use to be correct on pronouns in One Piece. They weren't doing that before. That's something that was fixed in the dub. You get what I'm saying to you? So to me, it doesn't seem. And Bon Clay's not gone. He. If anyone doesn't know what's going on with Bon Clay, he's still alive. He's an Impel down in level 5.5. He now runs it in Ivankov's old position. Mm-hmm. He's the head of Impel Down. So if Impel Down does receive a breakout or whatever, Bon Clay comes back into the picture. Could go to Kamabaka, could link up with Straw Hats, could be a part of the Grand Fleet even. Could be a revolutionary, Grand Fleet member, or core member. Legit, actual things that can happen with him. Like that's why I think it should be mentioned and noted. Like Fuli's not bugging. I also thought Bon Clay is a possible person. Like Luffy's dead ass not saying no to him. If that's a thing, like not at all. Like you get what I'm saying? He's on the ship. No one's coming at him wrong. You know what I'm saying?
I would like him on the crew. I definitely see him going to the Revs though.
That's fair.
I see Straw Hat Grand Fleet then Res or anything. I don't see him being a part of the crew.
I mean, his idol is Ivankov, though. That's kind of why I'm like, Ivankov, you're going to want to follow her. I mean, Luffy's your best friend, too, but Ivankov, you took over her position. Like, I just feel like naturally he'll go to the Revs.
Okay. But help Luffy at any chance.
Her pronouns?
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
I said they use her pronouns?
Whatever.
For Ivankov?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Probably. If not, the point, like they're actually saying the rudimentary terms like queer, like they're using all the actual terminology to these things. That's what if you have Netflix or you get a hold of it, just go watch Marineford, watch Impel Down and Marineford over, and you tell me what you think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I need to rewatch it because I'm not even accurate on all the pronoun crap.
Well, I mean, when it comes, oh boy, I don't like the alphabet crew. I'm sorry.
I don't neither. That's why when I saw it, I was like, yo, I don't remember the dub being this on point with this type of behavior. They were on point. I was like, yo, what the hell?
It's an agenda behind that.
King of the queers. I was like, oh shit. I don't remember Oda ever using that term when I read the manga King of the Queers. They're using actual terms in the Netflix dub version of One Piece.
staying out of this
Well,
one.
that's a Netflix agenda. But I mean, I wouldn't say Bon Clay represents them as a whole. He probably represents the non-binary people, the ones that don't fit into the male or female category. They're just their own being, you know. He's just being whoever he wants to be, you know. Looks like a man, but then wears makeup, and there's a lot
You're
of
right. That's the whole point of giving him the clone. He's whoever he wants to be.
Yeah,
right.
he's
It's
free
whoever
like that.
he wants to be.
Yeah.
Yvonne is a drag queen. No one can convince me otherwise.
No, you're right, Goopa. That's why Goopa's right. That's why the dub wasn't like that before. That's why I'm saying this. Okama was the term they used, and then they switched it, and now I'm hearing queer. I'm like, or when it's crazy. It's like when you go watch, even when you read the subtitles and you read the actual dub, like you read you're watching the sub and you read the subtitles, you're like, wait, what? Because I watched the dub, and the dub also has on the subtitles, so it's like, yo, this is interesting. Like, this is very interesting stuff here. Like they're being very direct. I was just surprised as hell to see that. So it's something that I definitely recognized. It was not like that the first time when I watched it, unless I watched the wrong dub of Marineford. So yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
no
offense to anybody here, but please understand that is a Netflix agenda.
It is. That is definitely a Netflix. That's a US. That's a Western agenda. A US thing.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a US thing.
That's a Western agenda. We want to bring this to every single thing that not just the adults watch, but our kids watch this as well. There's a message that they're trying to put out. Not that there's anything wrong with people that want to identify in that group, but a lot of gay women and men that I do know don't even like to identify as a part of the group because they're doing too much. So you can be straight and be
right out of that shit.
You can be straight and be queer at the same time. I've met straight queer men. They just I don't think they're actually queer. They like wearing like the weird skirts with all the pockets and the chains and stuff like that. I don't find that
queer is an umbrella term.
Okay. I don't know.
Shout out to Za. To Puli.
Because it just so many different types of people. Now,
yeah, we can move on from it though, because it seems to make everybody else. See, Zion Reed, they ready.
I'm not saying nothing.
I know, but look,
Before you just like,
no, you're good. Fully and Strawberry been chiming in. Zion Reed have already said I'm gonna try to stay out of it.
I am good.
So y'all, I can tell y'all want to move on. We can move on.
Yeah, bro. I'm not getting canceled at all.
So
I'm not against. I don't care what they do. I was trying to find out what is going on in One Piece. That's all.
I'm not trying to lose a leg. I'm not trying to say. Nope, you got it.
Hey, man.
Whatever y'all want, I'm happy.
Yeah,
that's all.
Cool, man.
If it helps speaking from someone who, yes, was a part of that community at some point in time, before you added on the I and the Q and all of that. Okay.
Praise Raspberry. You got it.
Hey,
you know what? Give me you know what? The alcohol is out of my system.
Backhanded compliment. The backhanded compliment is crazy.
You said raspberry?
Yes,
I didn't even catch that, bro. Yo, okay, bro. This guy, bro.
I've heard him say it a few times. This is the one time she called it out for her.
I didn't even hear you saying raspberry. That's crazy, bro. It's not. Okay, you know what? You got it, bro.
I will go upside your head with this bottle, Zah.
Yo, GK Hard.
I had alcohol in my system. I wasn't paying no attention to you. The alcohol is now out of my system.
It says it would be fire if she joined. He's talking about Yamato. He says, I don't think she would, though. He said, I don't think she would, though.
I think she would. I think she's gonna complete the. I think she's gonna complete the Oden parallel. I think she's going to. I think someone's gonna. She's going to complete the Oden parallel. She would have to sail on the ship of both kings. or not both kings. She would have to sail the ship of the king, but there was a Whitebeard parallel in there too.
Yeah.
So I think somebody's going to have to sail her. It might be Law because we don't know where Law went after he left. After he got, they could have went back to Wano or they could have went to wherever. But I think they had to go from whatever they're doing. They have to take her from point A to point B. Point B is Luffy. So when she gets to Luffy, she's gonna ride on the ship of the king. So even if she isn't a straw hat, she will be on the ship still. You get me? And she's gonna get the same bounty as Oden. They have not showed us Oden's bounty poster yet. So I'm guessing Yamato is going to get that. Because that bounty poster of Oden is sitting right there in Sakazuki's drawer, which is why he told Kizaru not to pull up at Wano. Because he knows
they got some warriors over there.
He said, listen, the samurai over there, and if they like this nigga right here, remember, see this bounty? If they're like him, we have a problem.
The man stay put through a fire beam, bro. Don't go over there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Charizard did a flamethrower, he cut it in half. Stop playing with it. You know what I mean? So if it's gonna be like that,
Rogers?
I think. Wait, say it again.
I said, do you think his bounty is up there with Rogers?
I think it was in that 2 echelon, like whatever Ben Beckman and like whatever we find out, because we don't know Rayleigh's bounty or Scopper Gabon's. I think his bounty was up there with those guys, but we don't know the Red Hair Pirates bounties, and I think their bounties are going to be the ones that are like the last highest bounty we got was probably Dorian and Broggy together. They were right over Croco, if not right under Croco, because I think they're 1.8 and I think Croco's 1.9. Yeah, Croco's 1.9. So I think last person that was 2 mil for real was Blackbeard. I think Shiryu, people like Ben Beckman, you know what I mean? They're gonna be that class of people. They're going to be that 2 bill type. They're gonna be in that 2 billy range. Yasop, Lucky Roo, they might be on that high end spectacle.
Yeah, I feel that.
I respect it.
I'm gonna hit these last comments and then we're good because we said our 3 hours. Okay. Where was I at? GK Hardhead said, I know I'm probably the only one who thinks this, but I wish Barto was in the crew. You are not the only one that thinks that. I think that would be dope. I just don't think it'll happen.
Yeah, great.
I actually wouldn't like that.
You wouldn't like that?
Mm-mm.
Why is that?
Like what?
Barto on the crew?
He should be part of the Grand Fleet. Leave that dude over there.
Keep him in the fleet.
Yeah, just keep him in the fleet. Let him be the mascot. That's all he wants to do.
I think they would have a lot of fun with him on the crew.
I don't need that. I don't need that shit all the fucking time. Like I heard that. No, I'm good.
I'm not gonna lie. You know how we're dealing with like Luffy with the whole Shanks thing right now, Elbath. It will be like that with him on the ship with Luffy.
Times 10, bro.
But every time Luffy's somewhere, where's Luffy? Where's Luffy?
Luffy. I was like, yo, bro, go home. Go home. Get off the ship, bro. Yasop should have blown you up 3 more times, bro. He should have blown you up 3 more times, bro.
I love Bart, but I don't think Bart is main crew. Great support.
No.
He's just annoying. It's just too much.
Supporting cast, yes, but on the main shit, like he would take up too much space.
Like I get Vivi, I can understand Vivi because she's already been there. Right. Yamato, I get that. Bonnie, whatever. If you want Bonnie on the crew, cool. But if y'all put Barto on that crew, bro, blow the ship up, please. I'm not doing with the whole Luffy the Straw Hat love fest all fucking day. I'm not doing that.
I mean, he literally built a whole replica of this shit. What's he gonna do with this shit? What's he gonna do with it? Tie it to the back?
His shit's blown up. His shit's gone.
Well, now it's gone, but I'm just saying.
Rebuild up himself. He pulled out the pistol. You know, he got rid of that shit. He got rid of that shit.
Man.
Wow.
Did it with the pistol from a distance.
Okay. See, and like the thing is, I don't want Bart crew to die. Cause I actually like his crew and whatnot. But like, if his crew died, maybe I can make room in my heart for him to join the main.
I don't.
But like, nah, He got a whole
He good.
crew. He got a whole thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
He a fleet member. Great
He
fleet
good.
member, though.
Nika says he did.
He did what?
Ah, I'm
Blew up the
not
ship.
sure. I just said it.
He blew up. Blew up the ship.
Oh yeah. He blew that shit up.
He blew it up. Respect.
Yeah, gosh.
But see,
Okay.
even if his crew is gone, I still can't see him on there. Like, I feel like you should have just died with your crew, because there's no one else like for you specifically.
Yeah.
He should die. Yeah.
His
Like,
crew's not the best.
if your
anyway,
crew is
so.
gone, then you should be gone too, especially because you were the captain. And we still don't know how Luffy's gonna react to him, pulling up at Shanks' stuff. We still don't know how Luffy's gonna react to that.
We know how he's gonna act. Oh my God, he pulled up to Shanks' crew because Luffy's been on this. I get it's his mentor. I get that he love. I get that he loves. I get that everything. But Luffy has been lost in this Shanks backstory, finding about Shanks a little too long for me, bro. Either move on or let's keep it moving, bro. Like, I get he's your mentor, bro. Luffy's lost the whole plot because it's all about Shanks at this point. Even Zoro called him an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. I do think he needs to run his ones though. I've said that for the longest time. Like Luffy seeing Shanks after finding out about the Barto thing, I personally feel like he needs to say something like, "Yo, that's not cool. Like that's my Grand Fleet member. You're a Yonko and you need a save face." That's just my take. You can't let your emotions take over.
I need Zoro there for that.
That's
Zoro
what
tell him
that's
about that.
that's exactly what the Zoro and Sanji moment was
There
for.
for,
When
yes.
they called him an obsessed idiot. Yeah,
Nigga, you
Shanks
knew what I
obsessed
was gonna
idiot.
say because
Yeah,
Luffy's.
that's why I wanted to join. Yeah,
Because for Luffy, it'll be like the same thing with Usopp moment, where it was like, "Yo, I
yeah.
want to go back to go get it," and who had to tell him? It was Zoro and Sanji. They were like, "Yo, you can't do that shit. You can't go back over there and ask him for." They're gonna tell him the same thing. Yo, he took out one of your members. You got to stand on business with that.
He does. Not gonna hold
That's
you.
Yeah.
Zai spitting, re-spitting. He got to be held accountable. You can't just be Shanks. Fuck all that Bartos. Let's drink together, bro. Like, no, bro. You're a Yonko. Business first, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the
Business
shit
first.
Bartel did for you, you can't do that.
You said what, Zah?
All that shit Bartel did for you, you can't just let that shit slide. You can't let that shit. As much as I hate Dressrosa, Bartel went through
Yeah, he
thick and
did.
thin for you. He went through
It's a
thick and
fact.
thin for you. You got to roll for him. You got to.
Okay, but that doesn't excuse the fact that he went and attacked.
No, there's no excuse. You just gotta. It has to be. The thing that we want from Luffy is you have to show some type of merit as a Yonko, because thus far, right now it looks like you're gonna meet Shanks and you're gonna be his little nigga. You're not a little nigga, bro. If you were a little nigga when he first gave you the hat, you're on the same pedestal as him now. Y'all need to actually. I mean, that's why this is. I mean, the only fair way to settle this for me is Davy back. But
Yeah.
I'm due. I just need to stay back.
I need a Davy back fight with this.
I'm gonna say
with
too,
these two crews.
because Blue brought up a good point. Just remember, he also drank that poison for him too.
Yeah, thank
Probably.
you.
Yeah, but Barto,
Yeah.
but no, but Luffy don't know about all that. Luffy not gonna know all that. He might not even learn about the. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I'm saying just on the point as far as like the mistake that he made on the island, his way to, in his head, make up for that was to drink that poison for Luffy.
Mm-hmm.
So he was
Without
trying
hesitation.
to, right? Even though Luffy doesn't know, he was trying to make up for it because he knows what he did was a little bit stupid.
I think Shanks is gonna
Anymore.
hold Luffy to that merit.
He needs to.
I think Shanks is gonna hold him to that.
He needs to. I don't think when they meet again, they're just going to be on friendly timing. Luffy might want it to be that way. I don't think Shanks will.
Listen, I'm still calling the card of if they meet, then I need to see Shanks and Luffy have a Yonko clash, because that's what Yonkos do when they ain't seen each other and they clash. So
that's what'll happen.
Big Mom, Kaido, Shanks, Shanks possibly Kaido, Shanks Whitebeard,
You know, like
when he meets Luffy, I need to see a grin. Like, let me see if he really is on my level. Shanks' eyes go red, conquers. Luffy like, I bet gum
like
whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Do you want the
Gear
Luffy
3 in
bullet
base.
moment? Do you want the Luffy bullet moment where like Bullet pulls out his hockey and then he's like doing
No,
like,
I don't want to conquer. I want to
okay.
I don't want to conquer
Okay.
hockey clash. I want to conquer coding clash.
Okay.
Like I want them to actually see each other and Luffy gear. I want to see Luffy in base zooming in that same way he did with Kaido. A simple gum pistol, gum bullet. It could be gum. It could be gear 3 giant pistol. He just needs to conquer's code it, and Shanks need to back it, and Shanks need to back his shit up.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then boom, they clash, and after the clash, it's like I'm proud of you, Lil. I'm proud of you. You're not a little nigga. I can't call you a little nigga. You know what I mean? Like that.
Give me my
shit.
hat back. Give me.
Yeah. Now let's have after the clash, let's have a conversation, and then that conversation turn into a daily bet fight. I'm cool with that. That's kind of where I want that shit to go.
Last question from Blue is hockey scientific? Like, can Vegapunk experiment on hockey like he does with devil fruits? Which I think the answer should be yes, seeing how the Seraphim have hockey.
But is that because their blood is? Like, is that because they technically come from? Because who they come from, they all have hockey.
Their hockey comes from the actual inheritance of the DNA. That's what I would think their hockey comes from.
I don't know if that makes sense to me.
I feel like hockey is more of a passed down trait. I don't think that's, or you develop it over time. I don't think it's just
maybe conquerors. Maybe conquerors.
No, conquerors is supposed to be born with ability. Right. First and foremost. Unless it's retcon, somebody had to
tell me. That's what I'm saying.
Garp said you're born with it.
That's what I'm saying.
The other Seraphim have hockey. You know what's crazy? Damn, it's even crazier to say, damn, I'm starting to think everybody is born with this shit, but only few can unlock it. That's what I'm starting to think with it. Because remember what Rayleigh says, everyone got hockey, but only few manifest that, and even fewer become conquerors, or even fewer are conquerors. So I'm starting to think everybody got, like, watch this, right? I think Momonosuke and Hiyori have it, but most likely Momonosuke is going to be the one to awaken it. Why? Because he's actually suited to be a combatant, and he's going to find himself in battle, and he's going to probably have reasoning to unlock his conqueror's hockey. Whereas Hiyori's not going to find herself in those moments, so she's not going to ever awaken her conqueror's hockey. It's going to lie dormant for the rest of her life. Big Mom has conqueror's hockey. Katakuri has it. That tells me any one of her kids could get it. It's just, okay, do they walk that life to actually manifest and awaken it? That's the thing. So who the hell are Kobe's parents? We don't know, but he apparently has it, right? Unless Oda drops the SBS where we find out one of the God Knights is his nigga parents or some shit. I don't think he's a conqueror. I don't think he's a conqueror by inheritance unless everyone, the true answer to this is everyone has it, but like Rayleigh says, to go back to the core of this, everyone has hockey, but only few people can
use it.
Exactly. Same thing. It's like the same thing with chakra. Everybody got chakra, but you got to go to school to start learning to utilize that. You got to go to a ninja academy to start utilizing what you could do. Everyone got it though. Everyone got it, but you have, you know what I'm saying? I'm starting to think everyone has conquerors. It's just about are you really like that to manifest it? That's what I'm starting to think. Did you walk the path that brought out the true, the most grit out of you? Blood, sweat, and tears. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't walk that life, you're not awakening it. That's just how I'm starting to look at it. Because it makes, otherwise, battling between acquiring conquerors, like unlocking it or not unlocking it, but like gaining it, compared to like what Garp said, like is what you have to be born with it. You know what I'm saying? He was like, he didn't have that power. He was born with it. That's what the nigga said. Yep. Straight out. He said he didn't learn it. He didn't acquire it. He was born with it. Just starting to think everybody's born with it. It's just only if you live life as hard as Luffy and go as hard as life. Like Luffy says, I go hard no matter what. I give 100% no matter what I do. If you're not doing that, you're not awakening conqueror.
So you don't think you can like Vegapunk could scientifically manufacture not conquerors, but like armament or like observation, like going in, fiddling with DNA or whatever the freak, to be able to help you unlock this scientifically?
I mean,
He
armament.
It's willpower.
He had a
Armament.
chance. Yeah.
Like with observation and armament, you guys don't think so?
With
I'm not saying
armament,
conquerors.
I would say it's easier because you can mimic hockey with probably armament. You can probably mimic it.
No, you can mimic hockey with observation hockey. You can mimic with observation hockey. What's this called? This is what I was trying to tell Blue when we were talking about it a little while ago. When he was saying that they got hockey confirmation. I was like, you could say that. I'm cool with giving him hockey confirmation, but to me, they're like hockey hacks. That's what I call them. Where like he has a radar system. S-Hawk has a radar system. He can detect. He literally picks up your detection as you come up on his radar. But that's all observation hockey is. It's the same thing with Anel. When Anel used it was a radar. So it gets used like sonar damn near. So his hack is just the same thing as observation hockey. So he just has observation hockey. He has a radar system. It's the same shit. It's just technical. So there's technical aspects where you can mimic it, like Strawberry just said. That's why I called it a hockey hack. You don't have to have armament hockey, but if I give you Lunarian DNA, no one's probably gonna penetrate your skin ever.
Or maybe
you know what I'm saying? I don't think King didn't need to use armament hockey on his body, but when he was using the ability through his sword, yes, I saw armament hockey used because his sword is not a part of his body.
I guess the problem is like the DNA explanation for the Seraphims having hockey. Like I guess that bugs me. That doesn't make sense to me.
No, to me it makes sense. Go ahead.
Oh no! I was just gonna repeat what you said, Nika. It comes from the people that they cloned. It comes from the DNA of Boa and Kuma,
right,
and King, and who's the other one?
All of them, they all have it. All the Seraphim, they all have it, right? Because all the warlords have hockey, so all the Seraphim have it. Right now, this is the thing that gets me. Right, this thing that gets me. If they have the DNA, so if Boa's a conqueror, S-Snake by right should be a conqueror. You can't scientifically fake conqueror's hockey. I mean, you can put a detection system. You could put a system that where you are the alpha to the other Seraphim. You could do that, but that's not really conqueror's hockey. Now, to fully get that, I think if you were to tell me Boa Hancock's S-Snake goes up under Boa's wing as Boa's little sister or Boa's prototype daughter, and she learns to live life and becomes her own person, and then future S-Snake ends up developing conqueror's hockey because she always had it. Because of the DNA, she just unlocked it and manifested it because she lived that life. I would then tell you, yes, they should be able to have conqueror's hockey because they have the DNA of the originals.
And I'm about to read. I see your comments on Instagram. I'm about to hit those too. I guess this is where I'm actually going. Like if we know this DNA right here is what possesses. If we take DNA from a conqueror, right, or someone who has all three types of hockey, and we can modify this blood and like mass produces and inject it into somebody else. Like technically,
it's not gonna work. It's what Strawberry said. It's willpower. My bad. Go ahead. That was Zaz said that. My bad. Zaz said that.
Well, I mean, all right. Well, you can.
My bad. I closed you up too early.
No, yeah. Well, I'm saying like not in someone that's like a common just loser out here in the One Piece verse. Like someone who's actually a fighter with willpower. Like like a Luffy. Like before he had learned any of his observation, conquerors, any of that. You just inject it. Like he's the perfect vessel for it. He will get it. But you're just speeding up the process. Like
you don't think that would kill him first?
Well, why would that kill him? Why can't you genetically modify it?
Well, because think about it. If you're so you are messing with the DNA of someone who, let's just say they're not related. So we'll do King, for example. So we have King. He has all of the hockeys, things like that. You put it into someone like Luffy. Luffy's DNA is completely different. You could potentially kill that person because it's not going to, certain things aren't going to line up. Like it might be too much too fast for his
It should
sister.
be a blood transfusion. It should be a blood transfusion.
If they're the same, I was gonna say that's what I was saying. If they're the same blood type, that could be the way it's done.
Yeah, it should be a blood transfusion.
But blood transfusions can go wrong very quickly, especially if you don't have the right blood type.
That's what I was saying. They're the same blood type. It could be likely possible, but I would still think it wouldn't work because it's all up to the will. And you can't scientifically put will in something. You could give something free will, and that has to manifest on its own after that. Because then you're allowing that person to freely make decisions on by itself. If you provide some type of direction for it, where you have a fundamental thing where it's like, you guys y'all seen Solo Leveling?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the latest season, they were like all the beasts that were like all the bosses of the gates were basically like, yo, we were put here and we don't really know what's up. We just told to man this spot. That type of person will never have conquerors because to me that type of being is not gonna have conquerors because they're not manifesting a free will. They're following order to an absolute. You get what I'm saying?
But that's not what Reed's talking about, though. He's talking about, like Luffy, put it in someone that already has that will.
But if you put it in somebody that already has will, then to me they're probably gonna get conquerors on their own anyways. It would make no sense.
That's what I was saying. I'm just saying, like, you would just speed the. Okay, let me back up. Because I don't want to get too.
No, I get what you're saying, Reed.
I know you do. I just let me just re-clarify what I'm trying to say. I'm saying, which by the way, I'm going off of Blue's question. This is kind of what I think.
I know what you're getting at. That's why I know I get it. I know what you're getting at because he's asked me the same shit before, so I know what you're talking about.
I'm saying for someone who is the right host, right? It would be basically just a blood transfusion. Like if we know that the blood is the thing that holds the code of conquerors, observation, armament, and of course their devil fruit ability as well. We know that. I'm saying if you take that blood and put it in the host that could utilize it, right? They've already got the will. We know they will unlock these things, but they just aren't there yet. Like a Kobe. Like Kobe has the ability to wield it. If you gave it to him, would that work? It would just speed the process up. Like boom, all right, here you got it. All right, let's go. And if the answer to that is yes, then I'm asking, then you can technically modify hockey scientifically.
Well, is that technically modifying it, or is that just putting it into somebody else?
I was about to say two things. That's not really.
I'm saying you could take blood. Okay, we're talking about the smartest man in the verse. Right.
Yeah.
You cannot sit here and tell me he cannot say, okay, this blood has all these capabilities. I can take it and I can make it into whatever. And I can make sure that if I have the right host, boom, this will give you conquerors. This will give you armament. Taking this thing. Like if you've got the will, you can utilize these abilities.
I don't think it works. I think if you could replicate something like that, you should be able to replicate this Logia shit, no problem. That's what I think. I'm not gonna hold you. And I don't think he could replicate. He's already said he can't replicate the Logia system.
Well, maybe not though, because like that's different. Like now we're talking about a devil fruit. Like
yeah, but if you're gonna talk about that's the pinnacle, but a Logia is the pinnacle of a devil fruit. Conquer's hockey is the pinnacle of hockey. I don't think it's not ethical for him to be able to reproduce any of these. Because if he could do one, he should be able to do the other.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I disagree though. I kind of disagree because like a devil fruit is like it's we're talking about like natural bodies, right? Like hockey is something that's already inside of you. Like it's an innate thing, and if we're saying everyone's born with it, like this is something that's like.
But you can't scientifically genetically engineer free will. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like even if I scientifically genetically engineered it, the free will part comes down to in the moment you making the decision you make. Like when you got fired or this dude spit in your face, how did you react? Did you do what I think a conqueror would do? And that could mean anything because we don't know what that actually means. Someone could actually play it off in a moment and say something even more smug to make that person feel like he needs to do even more than just spit on that person. We'd be like, damn, he did that. He better than me because I would have just lashed out and punched him in the face. He said something so snarky. Dang, I would have lost my cool. I couldn't have thought like that in that moment. That shows the conqueror in that guy. Or the conqueror thing to do for some people could be, I Molly whopped the shit out of this nigga. He wild. And to us, we like, yeah, that's the way to go. But we don't really know. That's why I said being a conqueror really comes down to what's going on in that moment and the decision you are making that separates you from everyone else. Are you giving up? Are you backing down? Are you standing strong? Whatever it is. Because another thing we don't know, we could line up all the conquerors and we could find differences in between all of them.
Right.
Like when people are talking about I lost, you could lose your conquerors. If Don Chin Jiao lost his will and he literally loses his will to fight, but still can display using conquerors haki at base, then the question of can you lose your conquerors shouldn't even be a question. No, you do not lose it. It probably grows weaker over time, but I don't think you lose your conquerors haki. It's just not as potent. It's just not. You're probably not doing what you could have been doing if you were on your convictions. If you're convicted, like moving on your convictions and your ambitions properly. He lost all his access to all his treasure. He lost everything. He could have used conquerors no more. And it was his choice to sit here and say, I'm done. He did that. You know what I'm saying? His programming wasn't to sit there and say he's done. He's never done that in his life. But he never imagined getting his head cracked in the way Garp did that. That was a new hill for him to face.
Different life, man.
Yeah.
Different person, man.
Yeah. How many babies is gonna climb up a goddamn mountain after they get tossed over a goddamn mountain? Like, what are we doing?
Not many.
Yeah.
No.
Many.
Thank you. One, bro.
Yep.
Thanos. Maybe Thanos did it. I don't know. He kind of grizzly. Point is,
maybe Luffy. Luffy might.
No. Luffy as a kid was a brat. Luffy as a kid was a brat.
As a baby, yeah, Luffy doing that at 10 because that's when Garp had him doing it, like 10 years old, but like, not as a baby. Luffy.
I'm talking about, but he's talking about fresh out the womb, baby.
Yeah, Luffy looking for titty milk, man. Luffy, he trying to eat.
I'm even talking
formula
about 7-year-old Luffy.
Give him a bottle.
7-year-old Luffy was even when he first got the devil fruit, he wasn't doing.
Get that man some milk.
Oh my gosh, Zah, we are talking about a newborn baby, not a child.
I was trying to say even Luffy from newborn baby to 7 was.
We don't know him as a newborn baby. Shut up, Jesus. You get on my nerves.
He was a brat.
We saw him as a brat as a kid, not a newborn baby. Babies can't be brats.
We might have saw him as a newborn baby. We don't know.
Might have. We don't know yet. That hasn't been
Nah, you know that panel when Film Red was dropping when Oda did the thing, and it was the mother holding the baby. We don't got no information on. Oda has yet to emphasize on anything about that. And Oda be doing that bullshit. We gonna come back to it eventually. I think that was baby Luffy and his mama. That mama was happy as hell. Only woman I ever seen that happy is Boa Hancock when she in love with Luffy. That's it. So I think that's what mom.
Facts.
Not him coming out the womb crying using conquerors though.
Yeah, appreciate the comment, Sama.
I use conquerors to get out the womb, man.
I was gonna your boy 3 Coolant on Instagram. Yeah. I don't know his actual name. It's
Fly Guy Dave, man.
Okay. He had commented a ton of stuff, but the Instagram stream had ended. I feel bad. Can you just let him know I apologize next time you talk to him? Because I don't even have any of his comments anymore, and he's not even on the stream anymore. He had a lot of comments I was gonna read.
I told them boys to get up on Twitch already, no man.
I did too.
I'm gonna tell them. Yeah, exactly. Word. I'll tell them again. See,
right,
for people that hardcore debate be having shit to say, you know what's up. Go to Twitch, bro. We done talked about this already in the chats. Yeah. Go to Twitch. Instagram is to let you know it started. You feel me? Once you see me send that, go hop on Twitch. I just put that there to notify you. That's it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let him know because he had a lot of stuff about that DNA discussion, and it's all gone now. So either way, Sama said you're spitting. Bottom left is spitting. So There you go.
Oh,
Nika.
Yep.
I mean,
I have been running my mouth a lot though.
I don't know, Ree. That DNA stuff is
it's
you're
weird.
throwing me for a loop because I really want to say no. Like, no, it's not even for the smartest guy in the world. That's like playing God. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. That's the only thing you're not allowed to manipulate. But being able to give them free will is the thing. And I think that is still possible for the Seraphim. They can get free will and they can live their lives and they can become their own people. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like me, like S Hawk has already been given lore to become the greatest swordsman in the world. They kind of already said it. He can advance Mihawk's swordsmanship even further. That's literally what they say for him. So to me, it's like, bro, you can do all that shit. You just kind of gotta get up on your own shit, your own time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't be following the command chip for too much longer. Like, eventually, if this story is all about freedom, that command chip gets destroyed by Bonnie, Luffy, somebody. Eventually, that the source of it gets destroyed, and or they get their last command to follow is to live your own life. Some shit like that. It's gonna be something that they could just correspond with. Or Vegapunk is going to fix them to where they can actually function without commands now.
Real quick, Dave is back on Instagram. Yo, we're gonna have to like hit Discord sometime this week, bro. Sorry, I know all your comments disappeared. The Instagram ended the live.
Let me know when.
So,
I'll be
yeah, Dave, you got to get up on Twitch, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got to get up on the Twitch.
Yeah, come to Twitch or
the Instagram stuff cuts an hour, and we be on for like 3 hours.
I did see all your comments about the DNA stuff and everything. Let's try to like jump on Discord sometime this week and like talk and go back and forth. So Goopa says hit Discord for sometime this week for sure. That'd be cool to do it.
Word.
Either way,
we should definitely do it after the next chapter drops. Please, let's just.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's too crazy right now. Wait till the next chapter drop, right? Wait till that one.
Reed, if there's anything I've ever told you as your brother, please say it the fuck off the internet. It is all over the place. The spoilers.
Really?
Damn, I haven't seen a thing.
I'm telling you.
It's predictable. It's predictable as hell because everybody named Mama already predicted it. But it's like a fan theory that they just said, "All right, confirm, y'all right, bet."
I don't even want to.
So let's, just you know what I mean? Stay off the internet, bro.
Stay off the internet. Lock yourself in your restaurant.
Hey,
just cook.
I just
food.
be working all week.
That's
bro.
all we got. I'm telling you, bro.
I'm doing some doubles this week too. That's only like.
Hey, there you go.
Yo, just make when I get down there, just make me some General Tso's chicken with some white rice, yo, bro. And I'm good, bro. You gotta do nothing else. Why
do you think he make basic Asian food?
That's
I don't make that.
That's all you want. I don't want much. All right.
I don't even make that.
Yeah, you don't make basic Asian food. Like, we know this.
Yeah, bro. I don't make that, bro.
You don't make?
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
I gotta see his menu. I've never looked at his menu.
You never looked at
Jai wasn't trying to be disingenuous. That's his favorite thing to get. He was trying to get that from
cool.
Reed. But Reed, his menu is a little different. You know what I'm saying? So he wasn't trying to be disingenuous.
I didn't know Reed's name for like 3 months. People was like, yo, how's your boy Reed? My brother was like, yo, how's your boy Reed? I was like, who the fuck is Reed? And they're like, yo, Straw Hat. I'm awful with that type of shit. Don't worry about it.
It's all, bro. You good, bro. It's all good.
Well, and I mean, my bad. One last thing.
Go for it.
As far as the Seraphim go, we do see the free will kind of sorta how Boa's love translated into his Seraphim. I have no idea.
That's what I was leading to. Yeah.
Like that to me, that was really weird because weren't these Seraphim created before, Luffy kind of stepped into the picture?
They were being. You could argue they were being worked on. Yes, you could argue.
Yeah, so she didn't have that love for Luffy yet when these things were being created.
That's inherent. That's inherent from the original Boa. Yeah,
it came another person.
That.
But how? That's my thing. Is like, how was this love inherited from her when she didn't have it at first?
No. It's because it's real love. That's why it is. It's like looking at somebody and saying, if I died and came back to life, I still fall in love with you all over again. That's romantic. It's a romantic shit like that. It's legit the same shit. That's what Oda's doing.
That's strong.
Old corny people from Oda's age definitely say that shit. That's a fact.
I get another chance.
That's a fact.
Bro,
what?
Man, I'm going after Hallie, bro. I'm going.
If you had a twin, I'd still pick you. Like corny lines like that are still being used. That's what I'm telling you. That's still used, bro.
Come back. I'm going after Hallie or Sonya Vega. Come on, what the fuck we talking about? I'm going after you or your twin. Wow. Stop it. You sit your ass.
You talking about? You know what? I don't want to get into that.
I mean, I'm just saying, I don't hate it. It was just very confusing as to why this little Seraphim had so much love. As soon as she saw Luffy acting just like Boa, it was. I'm just like, oh my goodness.
That's real love. That's how you know they really. That's how you know it's really genuine. No matter what happened, she saw me and still followed me.
Facts.
But it's not even her though.
It's her DNA.
It's her DNA. But it's not
her
her.
DNA. Well, it's not like having a daughter, but even if you had a daughter, it'd be the same way. Your daughter would be, oh my gosh, my dad, and be all giddy towards their father. Same shit.
Listen, I just got confused when I saw that. So it was, man, oh man. Now I want to know, do the other Seraphim kind of have that? Like, is there something from
Mihawk? S-Hawk showed that when he was in the bubble. He was talking like he was of a nobility. Like, how dare you put me in this? Like, it's like, oh, how dare. So who's Mihawk? That's why I keep saying, like, who the hell is this guy? Like, this guy must be a celestial dragon, a former holy knight, something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, then why wouldn't King's Seraphim do that?
King didn't have a Seraphim.
He doesn't have a Seraphim.
He is the Seraphim. He's the original. He's Seraphim 00. He's 00. He's 00. You know what I mean?
They just based them off of him.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just based off of him. He doesn't actually have
blame and shit like that.
Yeah, they mix the Lunarian DNA and body structures type shit with the traits of the Warlord's DNA. So they was you know what I mean? Okay. He was on his bartender shit, like shaking it up. Getting the mix right, getting the mix all good, and putting it with a little technology. Bam.
But Kuma's is real.
That'd be ironic.
Nah, they all have free will. They all have free will. They just gotta live there. You just gotta let them be themselves. Like, let them live. I'm pretty sure if you put a little cat in front of little boa hand, like S Snake, she's a kid, so they might give her the kid effect of loving the cat or loving the puppy. But if she kicked it, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, that's what Bo Hancock do, man. It's a clone. It's a clone. They're made to be clones, so you know it makes sense. She gonna go blue lock on that goddamn puppy, bro.
That's crazy, bro.
Straight ego, bro.
So crazy.
And get it back, get in their bag.
A soccer anime. Yeah.
Blue Lock is crazy. You gotta watch Blue Lock, bro. You gotta read it.
It's rich.
Mihawk losing an arm is crazy though.
We not doing that. Stop. Who's not
touching that?
Goopa.
It be my peoples all the time, bro.
Dave. Where do I start? He commented. I'm just gonna hit the last couple of these. He said, like when Trinity and Neo saw each other in the new Matrix, but that's one, two, they actually were, and they still love each other. I get what you're trying to say.
I'm sorry, I don't see the parallel. Because that's completely different. They didn't technically lose their things. They're just being suppressed.
In the Matrix?
Neo was given pills, so he doesn't remember nothing. So, and with Trinity, it's the same thing. They're being put back into the Matrix. They're trying to change.
But they still wanted each other, though, without even knowing who each other were.
No, they knew. They knew.
Well, Neo didn't. Trinity did. Neo didn't.
Yeah, they still fell in love.
Yeah.
That's where he's going.
Like it just, but I wouldn't say that that's a good parallel.
Yeah, it's not one for one, but you know, actually, no, it kind of is. Yeah, it kind of is because it's crazy because you put Luffy in that position. What did Luffy call her? Did Luffy call her Hancock? What did Luffy call S Snake?
He called her. Yeah, he called. I think.
Hancock.
He called her
Yeah,
Hancock.
Yeah. He kept the
he
same
thought it was
energy.
her.
Yeah, he thought it was her. He kept the same energy. So actually, it is a 1-for-1 parallel. Yeah, because Luffy, you put a whole new version of the girl around Luffy, and Luffy still thought it was what it was. And you know what's crazy? It's obviously not. She black, she shorter, she a kid, she got wings, flame on her back. Obviously not Boa Hancock, and Luffy still thought it was Hancock.
But Luffy
That's
kind of dumb.
I'm sorry, the way you said it,
Zoro did that too. Zoro did it too. He was like, I knew you look familiar. Zoro.
No, but Luffy confirmed. No, but Zoro confirmed it wasn't him. Luffy never confirmed. Luffy was just like, "Thanks, Hancock." And he just kept saying, Luffy just kept it going. Like,
yeah, because of how she was acting. She acted just like her. But Luffy, listen.
You can say that because that was S-Hawk's tell. S-Hawk didn't act like Mihawk. S-Hawk started sweating and shit. Mihawk was like, nah. But then again, no, Mihawk was sweating too when he faced.
Yeah, real Mihawk sweats too. Not gonna lie, he gets nervous around
Zoro.
You gotta give me a better parallel, but
Shanks.
Yeah, he sweat with Shanks.
Yeah,
he sweat with as well.
I mean, it'll be fun to see how this character play out.
Stop it. I knew you
he was sweating when he walked up to Shanks. When he went onto the island with Shanks, show him the bounty.
He wasn't.
He was like,
he walked up there with no people. It was
excuse
like,
me,
I don't
guys.
want to take you on. I don't even want to take you guys on. You half the man. You half the man. I thought oh, don't do that. Don't do that. He said you're half the man you once were.
Shanks here. Oh, I gotta show you something.
I
don't mean any harm,
bro. Like, don't do
I don't
that.
mean any harm.
He gonna show that nigga. He gonna show that. You know he gonna show Shanks. You know he gonna show Shanks his left hand.
That's all right. And then
Mihawk
Shanks
gonna be like, you ever seen one of these?
Conquerors. He gonna give him that quick little Conqueror's hockey that Mihawk can't show him.
Whatever.
Because Mihawk can't flex. They can't have a Conqueror's hockey battle. They can't both flex at the same time.
You never know. They probably, it's crazy. Their duel probably part the sky. I am a solid believer of that. Shanks and Mihawk part the sky. That's why the duel was known to be legendary. That's one of the reasons why the duel was known to be legendary.
That's
why people, What do you mean?
When Shanks locks in, then it's about to be over.
He had two hands. He had all the time to lock. He had all the time in the world to lock in. He had two hands. He had two hands and still couldn't lock in. What are you talking about?
I know you think you're ready to wrap up. I just wanted to say one thing. So in the last chapter we talked about. In the last chapter they talked about like the polar star or whatever, right?
Pole star,
right?
AKA North Star.
North Star, right? Maybe like Oda giving us races and whatnot. I know I threw out the whole Roger thing and like Ace and whatnot. Maybe it's a little, and we threw we threw out the Usopp thing. Maybe Nami is coming from the island too. Like Elbaf might be a mother island in a sense of like, cause like she has connection to the North Star, or might be connected to Raftail, cause it's like a single point. Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, didn't think about that. Wait, run that back by me again. I don't think I picked up exactly what you're trying to say.
Okay, so the North Star is so the Giants use the North Star to get points, right? To navigate, right? Nami's a natural at navigating and everything, right? Right. I remember the theory that we talked about. We don't know how far the tree goes up, and and Nail might come back and all this stuff, right?
Right.
Elbaf might be a mother island, and since Nami might come from some of the races that we've heard about since Oda released SBS. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of going on.
Somebody come. He echo.
Wait, try again. No.
Yo.
There we go. It was off.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, you back. Echo, man.
There you go. It was still used off. All right, you're good.
All right. Yeah. Okay, so as far as I think she's. That's just a. I think she's from. I'm not gonna say she's from like Elbath or whatever. I don't think she. I don't think that's what you're asking me either. I don't know as far as what you mean by a mother island, but I do think she's from an island that has a kingdom, of course. I don't know. The most I can say is I want to see if there's any lore towards all this because they're talking about the Pole Star and North Star and stuff like that. There will be something about it on the island of Vera, and I feel like Otis. I still feel like Otis didn't put that in the road to Laugh Tale for no reason. And Vera is supposed to have a kingdom that's usually at war, like civil war. You get under that was at civil war at the time and all this other stuff. I think the fact that we had Nami read that from on a paper on the newspaper, and it's supposed to be an island, it's supposed to be always sunny, which is lore towards Luffy. Anything being sunny to me is lore towards Luffy because why do we mention that the island's always sunny? You know what I'm saying? You don't need to mention that. It could just be a normal summer day in the goddamn island. But in the older dimensions, it's usually sunny. So it means we're probably gonna go to it. It's something about Gear 5 or something about just sun god type shit. And like I said, the final point of supposed to be on one of these islands. I don't think if it's on Elbaf, it's gonna be in that heavens realm. If it's not there, then I think it's on Vera. Me personally. So
valid.
Yeah. So I think it has connections. Nami would just be somebody related to a clan of people who like read into that. Like their specialty is probably there's probably something about that pole star that would relate to that whoever she's from or wherever she. You know what I mean? But it's hard. I don't really know what to take from it. So I don't know.
I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see. All right, bro. Chapter next week, bro. Looking forward to it. I'm not gonna see the spoilers, so yeah, I guess we will catch y'all next week, man. Looking forward to it. All right. Catch y'all. Peace.
Peace.